Hello, everyone, and welcome to the thru Recovery Life Podcast. My name is John A., and I am an alcoholic in West Palm Beach, Florida. My sobriety date is September 13th of 1982. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and hit the notifications button. You can recover very quickly in Alcoholics Anonymous by having the steps become a way of life for you sooner than later. And the topic for this podcast is do your fourth and fifth steps today. Do your fourth and fifth step today. So I'm not advocating rushing through the steps. I just urge you to have a sense of urgency and have these steps become a way of life for you sooner than later. How soon do you want to be happy, joyous, and free? If you had cancer, you'd want to get on the medication as soon as possible. So why not start taking the medication or the 12 steps as soon as possible? Because alcoholism is a killer. Alcoholism is a deadly disease, as you already know. And the relief from the obsession of alcohol starts in steps 4 and 5. You don't get much relief from steps 1, 2, and 3. You get more relief also in steps 8 and 9. Again, how soon do you want to be happy, joyous, and free? You're probably thinking, this is crap, that I'm full of crap. You can't do a fourth and fifth step today. Well, let's see what the Founding Fathers had to say. Let's see how they used to do it when AA first started. And this is from the story, He Sold Himself Short, in the Big Book on page 263. It was Dr. Bob's afternoon off. He had me to the office, and we spent 3 or 4 hours formally going through the 6-step program as it was at that time. The 6 steps were 1. Complete deflation. 2. Dependence and guidance from a higher power. 3. Moral inventory. 4. Confession. 5. Restitution. 6. Continued work with other alcoholics. Dr. Bob led me through all of these steps. At the moral inventory, he brought up several of my bad personality traits or character defects, such as selfishness, conceit, jealousy, carelessness, intolerance, ill temper, sarcasm, and resentments. We went over these at great length, and then he finally asked me if I wanted these defects of character removed. When I said yes, we both knelt at his desk and prayed, each of us asking to have these defects taken away. And as the story points out, there were only 6 steps at that time, but they still encompassed all of the 12 principles that we have in our current 12 steps. All right, so now back to step 4. Step 4 says we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Step 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. You want to have tunnel vision when you do your 4th step. Just focus on the 4th and don't worry about the 5th step. And don't listen to the idiots who will make the 4th step seem worse than the boogeyman hiding under your bed. Just remember, if they can do it, so can you. And you don't have to go back to kindergarten in your 4th step. You don't have to try to remember every detail because you can't. Especially if you were blackout drunk. It's not the things that you forget that may lead to a relapse. What may lead you to a relapse are the things that you do remember and leave out on purpose. So don't go back to kindergarten because you have a 10th step to make up for anything you forget, and you can do a 4th and 5th step again in the future when these things crop up, if they crop up in the future. And you can do your 4th step as outlined in the Big Book on page 65 with the 3 columns. And in the Big Book, it's one column is I'm resentful at, and then the second column is the cause, and the third column, what it affects. It affects my. Or you can download a 4th step worksheet on the internet. You can do the 4th step in the form of your life story, although that may take the longest time. But please, there is no right or wrong way to do the 4th step. Just do it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You just want to do it. The one thing to remember about the fourth step is that it should be just notes for when you do your fifth step. You do not have to elaborate in detail the things in your fourth step. You do that when you do your fifth step. And with steps 1, 2, and 3, there is absolutely no writing required. The big book doesn't mention any writing until you get to step 4. And you want to write out your fourth step. You don't want to type it. You don't want to text it, nor do you want to email it to your sponsor. You want to put pen to paper. There's something therapeutic about putting the pen to paper. So do yourself a favor. Do not put it on your iPad and have it ready. How about if the iPad runs out of power? You want to write it down. And you do steps 4 and 5 to start working on the real problem and to find out what's broken. You won't know what to fix if you don't know what's broken. Alcohol was but a symptom. You are the problem. I am the problem. I have been sober over 40 years. If alcohol was the problem, then I would be cured. But I'm never cured. I'm the problem, not alcohol. Steps 4 and 5 help you make your life an open book. You'll find out that you're not unique, nor are you alone. You lose the fear of being found out. You let go of the past. You start seeing your part in a situation. And the past doesn't have power over you anymore. You start learning about your resentments, your feelings, and more. Remember, you are as sick as your darkest, deepest secrets. So you want to make your life an open book. Once again, there is no right or wrong way to do a fourth step. Just do it. Get it done. After you do the fourth step, you need to find someone with whom to do your fifth step. And there is a therapeutic process that happens when you hear yourself saying these things from your fourth step. These things that are bothering you and holding you back. The fifth step is where you elaborate on the notes from your fourth step. And actually, getting back to your part in a situation, let's take the case of a young man who was molested as a teenager or as a young adult. I'm sorry, not as a young adult, but as a youngster who was molested until he was a teenager by a cousin, a friend, or an uncle. And now he is sober and he wants to let go of that past. His part in this situation is not that he is guilty of anything. He is 100% innocent. He is 100% the victim. Now his part in it is to no longer be a victim. Not to have a victim mentality and not to let that stuff have power over him anymore. If you need outside therapy, if you need outside help, please get it. But if you're able to let it go through the fourth and fifth step, then that's great. Many people let go of traumatic situations through the steps, but still others need therapy to get over some situations. And I'm not saying to get over it, but to get to the other side. You don't want to let that stuff have power over you and hold you back. And then you want to start helping other people who may have gone through similar situations. And you can do your fifth step with your sponsor, a priest, your therapist, or lawyer, etc. Just find someone you can trust. You want someone who is going to listen and also give you feedback and help you see things in a new perspective. Someone who's going to help you put on a new pair of glasses. And it doesn't matter how long the fifth step takes. It doesn't matter how long it takes for you to do your fifth step. In the early days of AA, the members would travel the country on business or whatever reason and make arrangements to meet with someone along the way. They would meet for a few hours, take the steps, and start an AA group and start sponsoring. That's how they did it. So this stuff about a step a month or my sponsor has me on step 1 for a year, that stuff is killing people. And please remember, I'm not advocating rushing through the steps. I just suggest that you have a sense of urgency because this is life and death. If you had cancer, you would want to get on the medication as soon as possible. Alcoholism is a killer, so why not get on the medication right away? And again, that medication is the 12 steps. Here's something for you. Do you know how long it takes to someone to do a fifth step? It takes 5 months to think about it and a few hours to do it. And if you don't do a fourth, chances are you might pick up a fifth, because you want relief. You want relief. And since you're no longer drinking, you will get that relief through the steps. And if you don't take the steps, then you'll seek relief the way you used to do it before, through the bottle. So again, thank you for listening to the thru Recovery Life podcast. In this episode, we talk about doing your fourth and fifth steps today. My name is John A., and I am an alcoholic in West Palm Beach, Florida. My sobriety date is September 13th of 1982. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button so you can be notified when we upload new videos. Leave a comment and we will respond. If you like our message of recovery, please share our podcast site with others. Thank you. Have a great day. And remember, you never have to have a bad day, just bad moments.